Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the Gerbera Daisy, and so many people have been asking me, so I decided let me just do the talk. And also what I did is that because we're going to do propagation and I want to show you how to do it, I got these ones from local nurseries. But my only thing is, as I was trying to preserve them, all the flowers are wilting. I think it's gone into transplant shock like that. But we will post some pictures. So welcome back to my channel. Let's get down and talk about propagation of the Gerbera Daisy. Now the Gerbera Daisy originates, well, it is native to South Africa, and that's why sometimes they call it the Transvaal Daisy. And also it's known as the Barberton Daisy. And there's so many different names for it, or even our traditional name, which we've done before, another African daisy. Now the thing about having it being South African is that there is a province in South Africa, Mpumalanga, and actually they use the Gerbera Daisy as the coat of arms and also on their flag. And also their teams actually have symbols of this daisy for their team. So it is an amazing plant and it is world known. Now the thing about this daisy, which has wilted, is that there's so many different varieties. You do get the single petal variety, of which I have one, but it's not wilted, so I will take a photo to include. Or else you do get a double daisy, or a different sort of looking daisies, which we'll also post, but the propagation is all the same. Now let's look at the sun requirement for this particular plant. Being native to South Africa, if we visualize it, it does need ample light. And though you can put it in full sun, it also survives in partial sun. So what sort of soil does it need? I would do organic and a bit sandy, so we can get a really good, well-drained soil. And the thing is that if you're doing a propagation, water, what is the requirement? If you're doing a propagation, as we will do, whether you're planting it in the soil or in the ground or in a pot, I would water it a bit more occasionally so you don't get your transplant shock. But once it does pick up, I would water it every 3 to 5 days. In pots, I would do the finger test and let it dry out a little bit. But basically is once it's dried out, once it does need water, I would actually water. Now the thing about these beautiful daisies is that once it does go into summer and you're getting blooms happening, I would actually give it a bit more water just to support the blooms. And then what happens sometimes is that during the summer months, especially when it is really, really hot and your plant does stop blooming, don't take it as if it's something that is wrong with your plant, because especially with this plant, it does need a stage, 2 weeks, where it quietens down and refuels itself, and then the blooms come back again. So for as long as you give this plant its basic requirement, it should be good to go. So we're looking at the light, which is full sun, we're looking at the soil, which is organic and sandy, and then we're looking at the water, where we're watering it every 3 to 5 days. Once you get that perfected, it should give you absolutely no problem. So once we get into propagation, this is actually quite simple. So here I have this plant, and poor little thing has got the wilted thing. I'm just going to remove the flower, just like that, because we don't need the flower. And also, as I did remove it from its plastic bag, I'm just going to remove some of these roots. So that can go, and I think this I cleaned out a bit. And I'll just remove the flower. So here we have 2 plants. Now the thing is that what I did is, again, This is an old Gerbera Daisy, and it had been root bound, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is try to open it up, because this is a great example of the propagation that you can do using division. So first of all, let me just remove some of these dead leaves and show you. So once you get a Gerbera Daisy, is that where you get the babies from, if we look here, is actually here, attached to the rhizome. But also what happens is that this is where the babies come, and here's one sprouting a leaf. So all you need to do for propagation purposes is actually remove it. So I'm going to just separate it like that, one baby. So here we have, out of that one plant, we have another baby. This one I will actually keep because the foliage is actually quite tucked in. So this is how you do propagation by division. And again, let's look at this plant. I'm just going to, again, root bound. So what I'm going to do is just remove some of this rooting. And let's see how many babies we will get from this one. So again, here, I can actually just open it up, maybe cut it. Again, another baby, and this one is attached to the rhizome, as we can see the rhizome here, and that's where the babies come from. So basically, out of those 4 plants, we have a multitude here. Now, what happens is that when you do plant these, is everything happens at the crown. So once you do plant, ensure that you don't plant with the crown, this area here, in the soil too deep. Otherwise you have a problem, the plant won't survive. So what I'm going to do with these ones, because they don't seem very strong, is I'm going to pot this in a pot. But these ones here is I'm just literally going to use it, cut off the rooting like that, and I'm actually just going to plant them straight into my garden, only because it's the rainy season and it's raining every single night. So I'm thinking, why propagate in the greenhouse when I can actually just dig it in the soil? So I'm going to put all this, 1, 2, 3, remove this, and I'm going to just take it into the garden where I've got my little new flower patch, and I'm just going to stick them in the soil. However, this one with its beautiful yellow pinkish flower, I will just remove that flower so that the energy doesn't go into the flower. So let's move and plant these in the soil. So here I'm standing in front of my garden patch. I actually have a few Gerbera Daisies in here, which we planted last week. And I have Impatiens, Busy Lizzies here. And then I have some other bulbed plants in here. And the whole point was to open up the garden, because before I used to have a lot of pots around here. So this is usually full sun during the day. And basically I think it'll do so well for my daisies. So I have actually made holes here, of which I've put some organic compost and bark and everything, so that we can get a really good drainage also happening. So let me start. So fellow gardeners, I have planted my Gerbera daisies, and then in a few days I'm going to come and just remove some of those leaves so we can give the strength to the root. And also the other thing you have to make sure is don't submerge the crown, because otherwise you could lose your plant. But otherwise I think it's going to be quite happy. I get full sun, so thank you so much. Don't forget to like and share, and don't forget to press that notification button so you'll always be informed. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Invite your family, friends, your relatives. I mean, we're having quite a lot of fun with this channel, so do invite them. And we're on Instagram. Have a look at my posting, which I do every week. So thank you so much, and go get yourself some daisies for summer. They're going to be beautiful, and we'll follow it on Instagram. Thank you so much, and have a lovely day.